according to Lieutenant Yenqing's report, he stumbled upon a few suspicious Foxians at Stargazer Navalia. After following them, he discovered that they were actually Borison in disguise. This is one of the bodies.
Looking at him now, it's hard to imagine how he transformed into a Foxian.
My alchemists detected some complex ingredients in his remains, which might explain how these Borison were able to disguise themselves as Foxians. Simply put, Foxians and Borison share a common ancestry. Although they look completely different now, there isn't much genetic difference between them. This medicine allows Borison to temporarily change their shape into that of Foxians.
So, in other words, if they stop taking the medicine, their true form will soon be revealed?
The formula and technique seem oddly familiar.
The disciples of Sanctus Medicus. Looks like the Alchemy Commission is involved once again. When I was sorting through the prescriptions they used, I came across one called Semblance Reversion Essence. It's designed to help those disciples suppress signs of their Mara-struck forms and maintain their normal appearance. When I compared it to the medicine found in the Borison's body...
They're one and the same, aren't they?
The medicinal properties and ingredients may differ, but the principle remains the same.
Since ancient times, the Borison have always sought to have more powerful bodies, regarding the Foxians as weaklings. Yet, in order to save their warhead, they were willing to disguise themselves as Foxians. Their determination is quite remarkable.
If these infiltrators rely on the medicine to maintain their disguise, then following this lead in our investigation seems prudent. Please follow me. Incredible strength. The attacker shattered this warden's bones with a single blow.
Such brute strength is not something an ordinary Borison possesses. This is likely the work of Hula.
If I may be so bold to ask, is this Borison truly that formidable?
I have lived a bit longer and engaged in a few more battles than you, Miss Lingshaw. To the Alliance, Borison have always been the most formidable adversaries. And Hula is a monster feared even among his own kind. With his strength, Hula united numerous Borison packs, forming a grand army of abominations of abundance. They constantly pushed the Alliance's armies into perilous positions. Over 7 centuries ago, I followed my mentor on a campaign against the abominations. And I personally witnessed the devastation on the battlefield after Hule appeared. Even with medicinal pellets that suppressed the fear caused by his lupitoxin, countless Cloud Knights succumbed to panic in the face of his murderous aura. They couldn't even raise a hand in resistance. If the former Sword Champion hadn't immobilized Hule with her Frostblade, the outcome of that fateful battle could have been very different. By the end of the battle, only a few of us remained. The Crimson Moon cast the sheen of blood on all. Everything I saw was painted dark red.
If that's the case, why wasn't the beast executed instead of being imprisoned? On the Xianzhou Jumi, the judges cast those unforgivable and nearly immortal abominations of abundance into the eternal flames of the stars, reducing them to ashes. Their so-called immortality is just a facade. I mean, nothing can truly defy death, can it? I just don't understand why the Lawfu kept this tumor for so long, leading to the terrible situation we're facing now. But I guess I understand. The people of the Lawfu are known for their kindness. even when faced with the malignant tumor within the Alchemy Commission, they couldn't bring themselves to cut it out. Instead, they exiled the healer, who tried to solve the problem, to the Xianzhou Jumi.
I understand if you hold grudges against me, Miss Lin Shaw. I take the blame for the resurgence of the disciples of Sanctus Medicus. As for why Hule was only in prison, I can shed some light on that too.
I'm just a healer. I'm not familiar with the past. I'd appreciate it if you could enlighten me, General.
All right. Let me tell you more about it as we go.
Did this Cloud Knight also take the medicine?
No. This is a Borisin in disguise. A guard killed him before he could return to his original form.
All these Borisin are dressed in official attire. Besides the Cloud Knight, there were also 2 Borisin disguised as members of the Skyfaring Commission and the Artisanship Commission. Whoever is providing them with official identities must hold the position of power. Let's search elsewhere.
Someone bit open his arteries and drained almost all of his blood while he was still alive. Such a cruel and ruthless act.
Despite being a long-lived species, Borisin are actually more like predatory beasts that must feed on raw blood and flesh. I've heard that Hule was deprived of food and water in the shackling prison. It's hard to imagine how he managed to suppress his hunger for over 7 centuries. Will the hostage from the Yaoqing be able to avoid being his meal?
Such is the terrible nature of the abominations of abundance. We subjected him to the Forest of Swords to drain his life force. But in the end, his punishment turned into a test of our patience. Just like you said, Miss Lin Shaw. Casting a creature that can't be killed into a star would be a way to permanently get rid of it. But unfortunately.
The Foxians didn't agree to that.
Exactly. The atrocities committed by Hule went beyond mere massacres. Throughout numerous wars, we made every effort to eradicate the Borisin. But Hule, with his mysterious sorcery, turned countless Foxians into his pawns. So the Borisin kept returning. The Foxians curse his name day and night, and they even use it to scare children into staying quiet. How could they grant a swift death to such a great sin? I wonder if you know why Hule wasn't taken into custody by the Foxian majority Xianzhou Yaoqing, but instead imprisoned in the Xianzhou Luofu, Miss Lin Shaw.
As you mentioned, your mentor was an exceptional warrior and was the one who defeated Hule, an extraordinary achievement. Therefore, the Marshal placed this feral beast under the jurisdiction of the Xianzhou Luofu as an honor, I assume?
It seems you have a major misunderstanding about this arrangement, Miss Lin Shaw. Allow me to explain it to you. Yanqing told me that an IPC ship was attacked by Borisin. Is this what they were transporting on the ship?
Yes. The Artisanship Commission and Alchemy Commission conducted a joint examination and found that parts of this machine are made from specially refined Borisin biotissue. I heard the Intelligentsia Guild has been researching the biological properties of long-life species, hoping to make medical or combat-related discoveries. However, they haven't dared to cross any lines due to their so-called relationship with the Alliance.
Perhaps to those scholars, Borisin are no different from lab animals. Maybe the Borisin attacked that ship to retaliate against the Intelligentsia Guild for experimenting on them?
No. If it were only about revenge, they could just wreck the ship and destroy all the cargo, instead of allowing it to end up in the Shackling prison. It was a deliberate display to showcase the dangerous nature of the cargo in broad daylight. This way, the cargo would end up in the Shackling prison, serving as a tool for the prison break.
This skill in exploiting the blind spots of others' mindsets is so atypical of them. I'm afraid the IPC and the Intelligentsia Guild unknowingly became their accomplices.
Watch out! This thing is still alive!
You haven't answered my question about why Hule was imprisoned in the Lafu instead of the Yaoqing, General. You've been reserved in your response. Could it be that such an arrangement wasn't an honor?
The reason why the Marshal didn't leave Hule on the Yaoqing lies in the very mech in front of us.
Are you suggesting that there are people trying to understand Hule's secrets and use them for their own purposes? Just like with this mech? Well, I understand. I've heard that the Foxians on the Yaoqing share a bloodline with the Borisin. And just like the Borisin, some of the Foxians there experience an uncontrollable insanity called moon rage. The Marshal believed that this would be inhumane and no different from what the Borisin did, so...
Exactly. While Borisin see moon rage as a blessing that unlocks their true potential, Foxians see it as an inevitable curse within their bloodline. Countless healers of the Yaoqing have attempted to unravel this mystery, but to no avail. Why can Borisin control the power of moon rage? Can we Foxians break free from this curse? These questions were asked frequently. Each questioner had good intentions. But the road to catastrophe is paved with good intentions. To the Foxians of the Yaoqing, Hule was not only the warhead of the Borisin, but also a monster that could be the subject of much research. Hule thus became a poison that corrupted people's minds without their knowing.
That's why the Marshal decided to imprison Hule and the Lafu. It wasn't an honor, but rather a warning.
Because such selfish pursuits in the name of good intentions once led to a tragedy on the Lafu that served as a warning to future generations.
This edition of Imbibitor Lunae. By imprisoning Hule and the Xianzhou Lafu, the Marshal both suppressed the dangerous intentions of the Yaoqing Foxians and warned the Xianzhou Lafu to refrain from repeating its mistake.
That was a necessary trade-off. The Xianzhou Alliance is not solely about the Xianzhou natives. Only when all three races, Foxian, Vidyadhara, and Xianzhou natives, form an alliance, will there be a promising future for all.
Thank you for enlightening me. Was it for the same reason that you traded off my mentor to the Xianzhou Zhuming, only to stand idle and allow the resurgence of the disciples of Sanctus Medicus?
You said that I couldn't bear to cut out the malignant tumor within the Alchemy Commission, but instead exiled the healer who tried to solve the problem to the Xianzhou Zhuming. But did your mentor tell you her good intentions led her to perform certain healing arts on Dan Heng, who had just finished his hatching rebirth, so that he would regain the memories of his past life?
What did you just say?
She believed that restoring the High Elder's knowledge of his past life would allow the Vidyadhara to resume their duty as the guardians of the Ambrosial Arbor, quelling the strife within their clan and bringing everything back on the right path. But just as I mentioned earlier, the road to catastrophe is always paved with good intentions. Since then, the 6 charioteers decided that the Alchemy Commission would no longer have a cauldron master. Until your arrival now.
If that's the case, I should thank you for protecting my mentor by exiling her, General.
Quite the contrary. I should be the one thanking you.
Thanking me?
All I ever want is to have a clear conscience. However, can long-life species truly achieve that goal in their long-drawn lives? For example, you were implicated along with your mentor and forced to leave your homeland without knowing the truth. And now, with the complicated situation in the Alchemy Commission, the Alliance has spared me a lot of trouble by sending you to handle this challenging task. Shouldn't I be thanking you instead?
Your eloquence is indeed impressive, the divine foresight. You won't even leave me any excuses to hold a grudge against you. But, let me make it clear. The Alliance sent me here to handle the business impartially, not to choose sides.
It doesn't matter which side you choose, Miss Lingshaw. At the end of the day, both you and I stand on the side of the Alliance, don't we? Let's keep going.
These Mara-struck soldiers don't appear to be escaped prisoners.
How can you tell?
These soldiers are fully armed. Obviously, they didn't hastily join the battle.
The messenger named Morza did say that there were 2 groups of attackers. And the other attackers, aside from the Borison, could hide their tracks. I believe he was referring to these people.
Hide their tracks.
Exactly. I've engaged with these attackers before, and they used Cloud Hymn magic to hide their presence. Without careful observation, no one can detect them.
You once warned me to be cautious of the Vidyadhara Elder's influence within the Alchemy Commission. Could it be?
What's on your mind, Miss Lingshaw?
Well, it seems that someone provided the attackers with a map of the shackling prison. And considering the Vidyadhara's involvement in the prison's construction, it raises suspicion about their role in this. Additionally, the fact that the Borison need medicine to disguise themselves would suggest that there are still moles within the Alchemy Commission assisting them covertly. Moreover, forging official identities for the undercover Borison would require someone with significant authority. And the presence of assassins capable of using Cloud Hymn magic deepens my suspicion about the Preceptors. But why would the Vidyadhara collude with the Borison and aid in Huli's escape?
They aim to spread chaos. They believe that only in chaos can they regain their former power and influence. Since this edition of Imbibe de Lune, the once proud dragon race has been powerless, watching their influence wane. Being a native of the Lorfu, Miss Lingshaw, I believe you understand the implications.
However, I don't think the Preceptors are the true mastermind. If I'm not mistaken, the one behind all this treachery is the Lord Ravager who exploited the weaknesses within the Lorfu and instigated the disciples of Sanctus Medicus, ultimately leading to the Ambrosial Arbor's resurrection. Fentilia.
Please remember, General, that everything I've mentioned is mere speculation. We need concrete evidence for a public trial. If you want to interrogate someone within the Vidyadhara's ranks, you'll need irrefutable proof.
So, what's your plan, Miss Lingshaw?
I'll send an invitation to the Preceptors.
An invitation?
The preceptors have been inviting me for a personal meeting since my arrival on Alafu. Now, I'll send them the remains of these Mara-struck soldiers and the route map I found in the prisoner's possession. Then, I'll ask them to meet me at Scale Gorge Waterscape. I'd like to hear their explanations.
Good idea. If I were to take action, it might alert the true mastermind. I trust you to handle this matter, Miss Lingshaw. The internal affairs of the Vidyadhara should remain under their jurisdiction. And don't worry if things don't go smoothly. Once the wolf hunt operation is over, the hidden truths will come to light.
Speaking of the wolf hunt operation, I'm truly worried about the Yaoqing messenger who was taken hostage. Hule was starving in the shackling prison for centuries. I don't know if the messenger can survive in that wolf's clutches. May Rainbow's blessing keep him safe.
As I said, I'm a healer. But my art of healing requires the culinary arts to be truly effective. The magic of my cauldron is its ability to make all kinds of medicines into dishes that patients can eat. When simmered and cooked together, any kind of medicinal herb or ingredient becomes a delightful delicacy.
Delicacy. But isn't that just one flavor overpowering the others?
Well, you have a point. Let me ask you this. If there's a fussy child who refuses to eat green peppers, what's the best way to make him eat them?
Stuff the kid's mouth with the green peppers and cook him alive in a pot.
You have quite the sense of humor. I've heard that you, Borisin, have lost many of your taste buds during the self-modification process, so you can't experience complex flavors. Only the saltiness of blood and flesh truly awakens your appetite.
It's a shame I don't have any green peppers right now. Otherwise, I'd happily stuff them into your mouth and cook you alive in a pot.
I'm just kidding. The answer is quite simple. Chop up the peppers and mix them with minced meat to make meatballs. This way, the flavor of the meat overpowers the taste of the peppers. And even a fussy child can enjoy them.
Can I just boil your tongue in this hot pot? I know you're trying to buy time until someone comes to your rescue. You said that Jin Liu recently returned to the Lafu, right? Well, she did come back. But, unfortunately, I also found out that she committed serious crimes and was escorted to another Xianzhou ship. Do you really think you can delay our departure by provoking Lord Hule's desire for revenge with your clever little tongue? You see Borisin as savages who know nothing about the Xianzhou, but in fact, we know all about your tracking tricks. Like the jade abacus you're carrying, and the side cranes in the sky. The more hope you hold in your heart, the greater your pain will be when death comes. I wonder if you can maintain your composure when I tear your throat open.
His composure is only a temporary effect of the medicine. And it will wear off soon, right?
Lord Hule.
Oh, you pathetic Foxians. For thousands of years, we were the ones who allowed you to live, and who granted you civilization. But in the end, you chose to betray us for the freedom promised by the Xianzhou people. But it's all right. As long as you catch the scent of your masters, you obediently return to us. No matter how far you run away.
Run away, you said? Well, I'm not the one who's trying to run away right now. The Borison's era has long passed. Did they ever tell you these harsh facts before giving you hope for returning home? Lord Hule? Now they're being crushed by the Merlin's claw of the Yao Qing. By a Foxian. They're hiding in remote corners of the cosmos, trembling with fear like a wounded beast on its last legs, reaching out desperately for any fake hope of salvation, which in this case is you.
The Merlin's claw of the Yao Qing. A Foxian? Very interesting. Tell me, Moktok, is he speaking the truth?
He isn't lying. That lowly beast was a war slave who ran away from our pack. Cannon fodder, a thief! She stole our power and used her knowledge about us to fight us, using every dirty trick in the book!
And she bested you, Moktok. Fairness is but a pathetic excuse for the dead and defeated. Since our great pack has fallen apart, who told you that I was alive? And who sent you here?
In our darkest hours, it was a prophet of the Master of Immortality, named Mongus, who showed us the way. Her guidance brought us hope.
This prophet, Mongus, what does she want?
The prophet made this proclamation. The Borison have been divided for too long, and only your return can unite all the packs, restoring us to our former glory. That's when we learned that you were still alive. It must have been a manifestation of the Master of Immortality! And the Prophet told us that the Foxian General of the Yao Qing would take you to her ship during the Lafu's war dance, and that it would be our best chance to infiltrate and free you from your prison. And just as she said, we did it!
Even if you managed to set Hule free, you'd have no way to escape.
We've already prepared our ships, and the Prophet's prediction will surely come true.
Once the news about the prison break spreads, the Cloud Knights will close all the ports. You may think you've escaped the prison, but you're just trapped in another cage, known as the Lafu.
Let me kill this unruly, lowly beast, Lord Hule! I assure you that our star skiffs will soon arrive. Right now, everyone in the Lafu is distracted by this stupid war dance, so this will be the perfect chance to escape. Once you've returned to your territory, your revenge against the Xianzhou ships will be within reach.
Perfect chance to return to my weak and shattered pack at the mercy of a ridiculous false prophet and become a mere puppet in her clutches. Her plan is full of flaws. The only paths she has prepared for you are escape and death. Listen up. A wolf never allows itself to become prey. From now on, you'll follow my orders. Since you are so confident that the Cloud Knights will close the ports, Jiao Chou, I'm now giving you a chance to go and see it for yourself. Go to the ports, come back, and tell me what you saw.
Wait, what did you just say?
But my lord!
Would an alpha wolf ever listen to a cub Mock talk.
No, I've never heard anything like that. I wasn't trying to defy your will. I will always unquestioningly follow your orders.
I'm offering you a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Don't you want to run away, Jiao Chou? You will come back. Because Foxians like you always obediently return to their masters, no matter how far they run away.
I can't believe he actually let me go. What game is he playing? Perhaps I can try to warn the Cloud Knights. No. Perhaps I can just escape. Just as I suspected. He's testing me. The Cloud Knights must have been aware of the situation inside the shackling prison for some time. Will General Fei Xiao personally lead a squad to capture Hule? For now, I'll do as he asked.
Would you like to board my star skiff? Well, my little star skiff can't accommodate that many. But I have a larger one that will arrive in less than 15 minutes if you need it. So, where would you like to go? We need to hurry wherever we're going. The war dance is about to start. The Skyfaring Commission is prioritizing star skiffs heading to the Sky Splitter. Keep what quiet? Come on, spill it if you have something to say. The Realm Keeping Commission? It's right up ahead. Look, I've got a business to run, so why don't you go there yourself?
I'm sorry, but the Realm Keeping Commission Chancery is currently closed. All the officers and officials have been reassigned to assist in the war dance. If I can help you. Hi, do you need my help, messenger from the Xianzhou Yaoqing?
Borisin are hiding in the Exalting Sanctum. You must deliver this news to the Cloud Knights.
Borisin? Here? Are you serious?
These Borisin are disguised as Foxians. Please warn the Cloud Knights immediately.
Will you please wait here for a while? I'll find a soldier.
Stop asking. I'm off duty now. Go bother someone else. You're not one of us, but I smell a familiar scent on you.
The Warhead sent me here to check on the situation.
No, not at all. Instead, the Skyfaring Commission is clearing routes to prioritize star skiffs heading to the Sky Splitter. This will make our ships more noticeable when we try to escape.
Hey there. I noticed you'd been looking at me for quite a while. Do you need my help? Could you please provide more details? Wait, I recognize you. You're the lost Yaoqing messenger. How are you here?
I was brought here by the Borisin. Please make sure to report this news.
All right, I'll call for reinforcements.
You're back, Jiao Cho.
Come and take a good look. Who are these people?
This Cloud Knight says there's official business that requires my cooperation.
What are you trying to do, Moktuk? They have nothing to do with this.
Nothing to do? I told you to go to the port and check out the situation. But I never gave you permission to talk with others. Remember, these people died because of you.
You want to prove to me that you hold everyone's lives in your hands, right, Hule?
Oh, exactly as you said. So, have the Cloud Knights closed the ports?
No.
They don't want to publicize my escape. I understand. It's no surprise, for fear is more deadly than claws and fangs. Especially during a festive time like the war dance. What lurks here is not a group of fugitives, but rather a pack of wolves amidst a flock. My cubs are hungry, ready to feast on flesh and blood, reveling in your fear. Your calm facade will soon crumble. I can tear through it and expose your pathetic bones any time. There's no escape from me, Jiao Cho. Of course, you can try your luck and believe that your wits will save you. But remember, you're not the only hostage in this city. If you try anything funny, innocent people will die because of you. Now, let's talk about the Foxian general you serve. Moktok says she's here for me, which means she'll be hunting me herself. Before the hunt begins, I need to know my opponent. You can refuse and play tough, or you can cooperate and save us both some time, healer. Good. At least you didn't try to draw attention with a scream. That way no one will die in vain. But remember, the next time you refuse me, I'll crush your healing hands, then your knees, then your spine. I'll dismantle you piece by piece, until only your silver tongue remains for you to speak.
Fine. I'll tell you what you want to know about her. But I expect something in return.
What makes you think you're still in a position to negotiate with me?
You can torture me until I talk. Or let's save us both some time. Warhead. Here's the question that's been bothering me. How have you managed to survive and endure centuries of torture? Borisin aren't supposed to live that long, or possess such regenerative abilities.
So, is that why the Shenjiao Yao Qing wanted to take me away? To some, I'm a hostage, but to others, I hold the secrets they desire. I still remember, in the early years of my captivity, the Foxians came and went. They extracted my blood and marrow, trying to unravel the mystery of moon rage. They wanted to conquer their fear of the Borisin and free themselves from their bloodline. Unfortunately, they failed to uncover the secret. So, they resorted to the most brutal punishments they could imagine. Some seek power to destroy their enemies, while others seek power to become their enemies. Which one are you, Jiao Zhou? I see. You're the most pitiful of them all, healer of the Yao Qing. You seek power to share it with others and do good. Well, then let me tell you the answer you seek. In our ancient legends, Duran, the ancestor of the Borisin, was dissatisfied with his limited lifespan and power. He yearned to dominate the skies and become the master of all the stars. To achieve his goal, he sacrificed the lives of countless Borisin and Foxians, pouring them into the spring bestowed by the Master of Immortality. Through a form of genetic sorcery, the water gave birth to a miracle. The lunar embryo. Duran ascended the birthing bed and obtained what he desired. A heart in the shape of a deep red full moon. He cut open his chest and replaced his original heart with this crimson moon. Laugh all you want, but only I know the truth behind every word. This moon heart beats within the body of every generation of the Borisin warhead. In the ritual that decides the new warhead, the successor cuts open the previous warhead's chest and consumes the divine heart, thus possessing it as their own. Devouring is the true essence of life, allowing us to endure and thrive. It gathers the life essence of all the prey we consume, making us stronger and stronger. I thought all hope was lost after 7 centuries of torment. But now, this heart is beating once again. All right. Now it's your turn to tell me everything about the Merlin's Claw.
Jiao Zhou, I found you.
I know I'm in no position to question your orders, but if I understand correctly, you already have intelligence about the Borisin?
That's right. My people are busy collecting clues now. What's the situation in Wadza?
General, before we completely lost contact with Jiao Zhou, I picked up a signal from his Jade Abacus. It won't take long before we locate their whereabouts.
If that's the case, shouldn't we immediately go there and join forces to eliminate the Borisin? Why are we returning to Stargazer Navalia?
Looks like your general has only taught you swordplay, not the art of the hunt. There's an old saying among the Borson. In the forest, the hunter may easily become the hunted. While we may call ourselves the hunters now, chasing them blindly will only make us become the prey.
Are you joking, General? He's just a wolf who's been imprisoned for 7 centuries. Even with his accomplices, they're no match for us numerous lawful Cloud Knights. How could he consider us his prey?
Do not underestimate the enemy. Hule is not an ordinary Borson that can be easily killed. The advantage in numbers means nothing when we face that monster. A vicious beast who hasn't tasted blood and flesh in 7 centuries is now lurking on the streets of the Luofu right before the war dance. This is what makes the situation treacherous and unpredictable.
To him, the lives of ordinary people are just meat, ready to be devoured at any moment.
Exactly. That is why we must succeed in our first strike, or the situation will spiral out of control. You've heard of this military tactic, right? When you surround your enemy, leave one side open for them to escape. A skilled hunter must be well prepared, waiting for the prey at the most advantageous position. What would we do if we were the escapees from the shackling prison? While we can disguise ourselves and blend in with the crowd, we don't plan on staying here for long. In this case, what do we need most now?
A star skiff to get us out of the Luofu. The Borison we discovered at Stargazer Navalia were actually preparing a vessel for their escape.
We predict their next move, and we take them down. Let's start from where you found those Borison and corner our